G'day YouTube, this is a quick little video on a Stevens Model 94 single shot 12 gauge. I think it applies for any of the Model 94s. Anyways, I got into tearing one apart because I had problems with it and couldn't find really any resource info on the internet as far as actually taking it apart and how the trigger mechanism and that works. So after quite a few sessions of trial and error, I've kind of learned how to take it apart and how to put it together. Probably not the way you're supposed to, but it's the way I've made it work. So I'll just share that with you, and if anyone has a better way or knows of a better way, please share. So to start, there is a long piece of threaded rod and the stock would attach here. You unbolt that, and that'll separate from here back on your stock, opening up the trigger mechanism, and punch the pin out. You can take the barrel out. So then you're basically left with this. You've got the trigger here, which I have not really attached properly. The hammer, this is your extractor or for cracking the barrel. Anyways, I don't know how this works, nor do I really care. My issue was that my hammer was not properly working, or it was slipping, I should say, from the trigger. Didn't know which the culprit was, and I ended up changing both. So quickly, I'll just explain. If you want to tear it apart, you punch out that pin. I'm not sure what it does, but it doesn't really seem to do a lot. I'm sure it has a purpose. Anyways, when you punch this one out, that will actually remove the hammer. So once you punch that out, then take a screwdriver and push on that part of the back end of the plunger, and you'll be able to slide the plunger out, removing the spring, that part, and then the part that attaches to the hammer. That whole thing will come out. Your hammer will come right out the top or bottom, whichever, and your trigger will still be left there. If you want to remove the trigger, you punch that pin out. Careful, there's a spring in there. Take the spring out. Do whatever you need to do with the gun, and then to reassemble, what I have learned to do, I put the trigger in first, and push it down to the bottom so that you can see this part here. That's the what catches on the hammer. You want to make sure I tie it off afterwards whenever I'm working on it, just so it doesn't catch the hammer all the way. So what I do is I put the trigger back in, and then I slide my hammer in, drop it in place, put the pin in. Then I take the plunger, and those three pieces come apart. So I put the spring back on, and I put that piece on, and I catch it on the front into the hammer where it should go, and it's sticking out the back here. And what you need to do is apply force. So what I do is I lean it up against I used a wall. I lean it up against the wall, and I use a punch that's bigger than the piece. I catch it on the back of the plunger, and I put a little piece of carpet on the end of the punch just to protect my hand a little bit because it hurts. Watch your eyes for this for sure, and make sure there's nothing else around, because if you do slip, it will shoot out, so you don't want to lose it, the rest of the plunger and the spring. So anyways, you push. It takes quite a bit of force. You push, and it'll slide in place. Once you compress it enough, you can sort of slide it off the punch into place, and it usually won't seat completely, so you just kind of push down with a screwdriver or something, and it'll pop. There's a little recess you'll see in the back, and that's basically how I've learned to